leases for preferred credit, established credit.
Right.
So when you are offered a lease, usually you have to have very good credit and you have a great history. So if we have 50 lenders, and it's kind of like that whole competition, with DealerTrack, we submit the deal, and several of our bigger banks, lending institutions, look out for that. And what they're doing is they're trying to match the best lender for your budget.
Whoa, make that switch.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the City Kia Show, filmed live right here at City Kia. I'm Raul.
And I'm Trenny.
And we're going to spend a few minutes with you today. Let's see what Trenny has in store. What questions she has for me today. Go ahead, Trenny.
Well, Raul, it's back to school time. Everybody should be rocking and rolling, back in school.
Back in the swing.
And back in the swing of things. Right. Everybody's back to school, public, private, all the different start times. But one of the themes is the first-time car buyer. Before we get into the questions from the first-time car buyer, tell me, what is a first-time car buyer?
Well, just like the name says, a person who's never purchased a car before, or a car, let's say a car with a financial institution, they may have bought a car cash or a buy here, pay here, but if they're, it's usually something like that, or inherited a car.
Yeah.
So now, as a first-time buyer is going to come into a dealership looking to secure a loan on a vehicle.
Wait, let me ask you a question. When you say secure a loan, do you mean that you're the first-time car buyer, only your name is on the loan, or is a co-buyer still considered a first-time? Okay.
Both, because a lot of first-time buyers, for example, we see it every day. You saw it with your daughters, but you see it every day when someone's going to high school, graduates high school, they get a car, or going to college, they get a vehicle, that kind of thing. And they're usually younger adults and that are just getting started. So most of the time there's a co-buyer, father, mother, grandmother, someone who's going to sign with them to help alleviate the risk with the bank.
Right.
That's usually how a first-time buyer process works. There are once in a while extenuating issues where a first-time buyer can do it alone without a co-signer if they've got strong credit other than the car, but they may own a home. They may have credit cards with very high limits, but that have zero balances.
Right.
They've done a good job establishing themselves. Once in a while, small percentage can get approved alone, but most first-time buyers do require a co-signer, and it's better for the deal because the interest rate will be less.
You just stole that question right out of my mouth. That's what I was going to ask you. Is if you get a better interest rate?
Usually you do. It's not only the interest rate. Your enhancement is your percentage of approval is a lot greater with a co than by yourself.
For sure.
So it's almost like it's definitely helping you obtain the loan on the car.
You can qualify for the car, then you can get the car, but it also helps get you a lower. So for example, if my daughter, and actually this happened, as you know, because she bought here at City Kia.
Right.
She was in a position to purchase her car, and she ended up getting Grandma to co-sign because Grandma had like an 850 beacon score.
Absolutely.
And even though my daughter had good credit, Grandma's just took it over the top.
Right, reduced the interest.
And then her payment was lower.
Right, because the interest went down.
Right, exactly. Speaking of interest and speaking of comparisons, is it better to lease or buy a car if you're a first-time home buyer?
Well, first-time car buyer usually does not qualify for a lease. Okay. Leasing, remember, is a reward, is almost a reward-based system. To lease a vehicle, you need to have better credit than to purchase a vehicle. That was interesting. We had our producer come and fix your hair, Trenny, live while we're shooting.
No,
only at City Kia, ladies and gentlemen.
But here's why, because
that's Hanukkah, by the way.
Because your camera was on you, so they would have never seen it because my camera.
Well, I saw it.
Well, you saw it.
All right. Anyway, so let's get back to business.
Yeah, we just roll.
So a lease usually leases for preferred credit, established credit.
Right.
So when you are offered a lease, usually you have to have very good credit and you have a great history in car payments and previous car purchases. Now it makes you qualify for a lease. First-time buyer is not usually a lease territory.
And I'm kind of stating the obvious here, but because the only way you're going to get a lease is through the factory, right? Like Kia.
Well, there's third-party companies, but they're nowhere near as good as a deal as the factory.
Put it this way, I didn't even know it, and I bought a lot of cars.
You mostly go with your captive. If you buy a Hyundai, you go with a Hyundai. If you buy a Kia, you go with... Well, right. Hyundai and Kia is the same company. Hyundai Motor Capital is both.
Right. And like a credit union wouldn't do a lease. right?
No, they do finance.
They do finances. So they do their APR.
There are ALG based companies like U.S. Bank
Okay.
that do leases. Ally used to do a lot of leases,
Okay.
but it's usually always more favorable to stay with the factory. So here it's Kia all the way.
So it's more favorable to stay with the factory, especially on a lease here at Kia. Is it favorable to stay with the factory if you're going to do an APR offer? And can I go as a first-time home buyer or first-time car buyer to my credit union and
Yes.
get pre-qualified?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we also, now that you brought up credit unions, we also have partnerships with a lot of credit unions, some very strong ones. Space Coast, Suncoast, Partners, which is where Disney employees are, right?
Right.
So we have a lot of covenants with those and dealer agreements with those. And we help a lot of customers actually open accounts at credit unions and take advantage of the credit unions' low rates.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Speaking of programs, and this is probably one of the final questions that I have today is about City Kia.
Sure.
And obviously, I know of certain amenities and programs and things that you offer. What are the benefits of, well, buying, but then also financing here at City Kia?
Well, I know where you're going with this. So a lot of people want to go to their financial, let's say you're a Bank of America customer or one of the top banks, and a lot of customers will go there because they have their checking account and savings account there. They'll go there to spend the money to apply for a loan. And sometimes it doesn't work out that great because they don't specialize in that.
Right.
So here at City Kia, we have over 50 a portfolio of over 50 lenders. We use about 10 of them for most of the volume, but we have others for niche circumstances, like the people that just came from Venezuela and all that. That's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
But I think the customer is better served getting their options at a dealership because they may have one bank when we have 50 lenders.
Okay, that's exactly what
Strength in numbers,
right.
more choice, more
and
variety.
Relationships with the bank. You've been
right.
I was actually here yesterday trying to work with you on a podcast before
the power went out.
The power went out, so we didn't get to do it.
You,
but he was meeting with one of his bank relationships.
She's right there in the purple shirt. And Tina, and I know Tina was here also yesterday from Ally. So what it goes down to is the power of more. So if we have 50 lenders, and it's kind of like that whole competition, with Dealer Track, we submit the deal, and several of our bigger banks, lending institutions, look out for that. And what they're doing is they're trying to match the best lender for your budget and the term of your loan. So we specialize in that. We always tell customers, you could let us go to work for you first. And if you still want to go to your bank, that's fine with us. But at least you have the army you have 10, 14 of the top lenders bidding for your business. Right. And you know what the terms are before you go to your own financial institution.
And because you have such volume, you have a great track record with the banks, which makes it more appealing for them.
So especially, going back to your first question, especially on first-time buyers, we have our strength in numbers, right? So we do so much business that a lot of times a lender will approve one of our customers because our portfolio, our bulk of our business is so clean and so smooth that they'll go ahead and take a chance on someone at City Kia. They may not get that same chance at another dealership because their volume is nowhere near what City Kia's is. So, the City Kia success that this community, great community, has empowered us to have and blessed us with, God, but that being said, we have a lot of alternatives and a lot of creative ways to help you get structured correctly and make the right decision. Remember, when you buy a car and you're financing a car, most terms are 72, 75 months, 66 months, and 66 months is short term now. So it's usually 72 or 75 months. You want to make sure that we want our customer to make sure that they are making a good, equitable decision with the right lender for their long term.
For the long term, which is exactly what, again, my daughter was walked through all of her options. Which direction did she want to go? She had grandma as the co-signer, and she had her options and what was better for her. How much money did she want to put down? How long did she want to make the payments for?
Right.
And it was a good thing. So, well, that answers all of the questions that I have.
Okay.
I wonder if our producer has any.
Ms. Producer, you have any other questions for us?
The usual dog and pony show.
Oh boy, it's
Oh,
that
here it
time
comes.
where we play charades,
I was wondering.
car charades, I guess you could call it.
Let the games begin.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Okay, this is Coral and this is Bort.
Oh, I meant to have Joe Mano look at these ahead of time to make sure,
All right, so
since we're not allowed to look at them.
you go first. Put it on. I'll ask.
Okay.
All right, show the camera. When you want to trade out your vehicle, Trenny, and you have something that's not good, what is it
Negative
called?
equity.
Bingo.
Ah,
All right, go ahead. My turn.
so you have to hold that
Yeah.
up.
Is it facing the right way?
Yes.
Camera. Trenny.
Okay, we're gonna chunk this off in two pieces, like you
Two
do.
words.
Yeah, and we're gonna do them separately
All right,
because
first
together.
word.
So the first word is what the institution we were just talking about was.
Bank.
Yes. Second word, it's on the blank to work.
Ride to work.
It begins with an R. It's not the.
Ride to work.
No, it's
No.
it's the path.
Road.
It's like the path, the navigation.
The road to work. Road to
it's more
bank.
of a navigation.
Bank
So
GPS.
you're not supposed to be thinking of bank. You're just supposed to be thinking of word two. It's a. I think I'm going to take this R today.
I'm gonna take this way. This route.
Yes, exactly. Bank route.
Bank route.
Yes.
Okay, what does that mean?
I don't know.
What is bank route? Miss Producer, who wrote this?
Joe Mano.
All right, guys, remember, this is our first few podcasts. Technical difficulty from production. Where's Joe Mano? All right, next, you go.
We have to have you check these next
Show
time
the
to make
camera
sure
and then
they're
show me.
Valid. Hello. Oh,
Okay, so when you're applying for a loan,
okay.
they look at your what?
Credit score, FICO score,
First word is correct.
credit history.
Bingo. Credit history.
Yay.
Camera.
Okay, it's something that you get hit with if
You hit with or you pay?
you pay.
Yeah.
You definitely pay it if you're late.
Late fee?
Yeah, no, but it's a, what's the first word?
I don't know. How am I supposed to know?
You
How do I know, Trenny?
through
You
the
tell me.
I thought you- So the what institution?
Finance?
Yes, that's the first word.
Okay.
And then it's a not a fee, but a
Interest rate?
no, it's not a
Percentage?
fee, but it's a
APR?
you pay.
Finance charge?
Yes, there you go.
Okay, that's your APR for a loan. Everybody pays.
Finance charge.
All right.
Yes.
I got
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Camera. You could.
Oh boy, this is gonna be really hard. This is gonna be really hard. Okay, show the camera.
Which one of
So Trenny, you may not know this. So
Okay.
this is like a finance term, Mrs. Producer. Next time, let's do this together before the fact. All right. So when you want to buy a home or a car,
Yes.
you have a certain down payment. What is the ratio called between what you're asking for and the value of something?
The difference. No, I'm just kidding.
What is
No,
it called?
no, I
What is
know,
it
I
called
know.
when they assess your? What is it called when you when
You're
they
not talking
doing an
about
assessment?
Negative equity. No.
No,
of course
listen
not.
to me. On any kind of loan, whether it's a home loan or a car loan, the asset, I'll give you the initial. What's LTV stand for?
LTV.
Yes. 5, 4. No?
Something value, trade value.
You got the second word.
Trade,
What the first word is when you apply for a what to get something?
loan, trade value.
Okay, that's the first word, loan.
Loan
And the other word that you said?
value.
Bingo.
Loan value.
Loan to value. LTV.
Loan to value.
LTV. All right.
Wow. Okay.
Go ahead.
Your turn.
Me turn?
Hanukkah, you're making these so serious. We're not okay. I want
Camera, here we go.
to get blank on my next loan.
Pre-qualified.
Yeah. Good one.
Okay, so all my customers in City Key are special, but there's also a special, I guess, treatment that we give to all our customers.
VIP?
Bingo. Customer, it's
VIP
okay,
customer.
but no place. Go ahead.
Your turn to put it on your head.
My turn.
Yeah.
Hanukkah, you're gonna do a lot of editing on this show.
Yes.
Let me tell you. Here we go.
Edit.
Camera,
Jim Harris is in the
finance office,
close, yes, but
Business office.
instead of finance, it's the
business office.
finance.
Finance and insurance, F&I office.
It's also
Finance and
called
insurance.
Joe has one of these. He has one of. It begins
Box?
with a D. It begins with a D.
A desk.
It rhymes with apartment.
What does that have to do with F&I?
It rhymes with apartment.
F&I
begins with a
department?
Yes, but now the
Finance
first
department.
yes, that's good enough, right? Financial department.
All right. Next.
This is gonna be.
Here we go, guys.
Oh.
She's not going to know this, but let's try, Hanika. All right. So when somebody has challenged credit, let's say they had a repo or something like that, or they're trying to establish themselves, they need a list. They have to provide what to the bank? What does the bank ask for? It's a bunch of things, and there's a short name for it in the car business. They're called what?
The packet of verification of income.
Okay, that's part of it. That's one of them. Proof of roof is another one. ID is another one. All the things that they ask you for are called customer what?
I don't know.
Customer, you lost this one. Customer stipulations. I knew you weren't going to get that.
Steps.
You'd have to.
Why didn't you say?
You can't
it
say
rhymes
stips. That's
with-
because stips is the same word.
No, but why didn't you say it rhymes with
Strips.
crips?
All right. I don't know.
just
She's
kidding.
scolding me. She got it wrong, but it's my fault. All right, no problem. Whose turn now? Mine.
Oh, we have more. Oh,
One more.
No
Ready?
más, Hanukkah.
Ready? Here you go.
Okay.
All right.
Oh. APR stands for it, but it's actually
Interest rate.
no. APR stands for the full Monty of. It's just say the whole thing.
Annual percentage rate. Wow. All right. Ladies and gentlemen,
Proof them next time.
our next show will be a little bit better organized on our game here. But thanks for tuning in.
Thank
we'll
you.
see you soon.
We'll
Take
see you
care.
soon.
Live from
Bye.
City Kia.
Bye.
Whoa, make that switch. Make that switch to City Kia. To City Kia.